Hello and welcome to another episode of Ways to Better Living. This is your host, Colio, as always, kicking it off. Today's topic, I haven't given this much thought of what should be the topic today, so I'll just see where this one will lead me today, because I was gonna continue, though it's gonna be in the line of alright, this is what I would do. Instead of making it I'm thinking of how does one go about knowing what's good or what's right from what's not good or not right to do. So, which means this topic will be called what's right or wrong. Put it in that way. So that's what this topic will be about. Just so you understand, this is just what comes up right from my heart to speak about. So I'll go in that direction. So the topic will be what's right or wrong. So with this one, there's not much background I'm going to give you as to what's right or what's wrong, which is different from the other ones that I've been dealing with. And as I say, this is all in the aspect of dealing with ways to better living. And in doing things that's right is always good, and doing things that's not right, which is wrong, is bad. Though I tend to use the word evil for things that are bad, just for the fact that bad is like the watered down version of evil. Just like you would say you don't like watered down juice. Pretty much you consider it to be water with flavor. So you rather go for the actually pure, so you get the actual flavor in your mouth even after you finish the juice. So that is what bad is. So I'm putting it in that fashion now, so you understand why I always use evil instead of bad. But in this, I would say right and wrong, so we understand exactly where things is going. So now, with this said, the thing I would like to point your attention to is what we know in general to be right. We said that's what's good. So the right thing to do in situations, I'm not going to go in every single detail of situations that might arise, but you personally know what situation you're in, and you know you want to handle it in the best way possible, and the best way possible is the right way. So in handling it in that way, the question I have is now for this, as this discussion is, it might seem like it's off from ways to better living, but it's all tied in the sense that the question I'm going to ask, if you know what's right to do, would you allow rules or policy to make you not do what's right? Because the chances are, depending on the situation, you might be in a place where, or come across a situation, or find yourself inside a place where they have rules, and these rules prevent you from doing what's right. So that the reason why I ask that question is because I've seen this in many places where they said, yes, we know this is right to do, but policy or the rules So that is why I'm asking this question. If you say you looking to do what's right, and rules and policy prevent you from doing what's right, which way would you go? Because you know when you do what's right, that's good. But if you do what's not right, it is not good. And the places that always have the rules that you tendency not going to make you not do what's right, they present themselves to be good. But they have this policy or rules there to prevent you from doing what's right. So with that said, how do you go about it? Personally, because when you're there doing that, the person that you might be dealing with, they're expecting you to do what's right. They're not looking for you to follow policies or follow rules. They're looking for you to do what's right. So which means it's an individual choice. So which also, this comes now in mind. If you know you find yourself in these places where you gotta follow these things that's not good, that you know is not right for you, because that's what, say, majority of these places is your job. So now, what are your personal standard for you? Remember when we deal about family, I brought family because we just dealt about it not that long ago. I brought family into this because, like I mentioned, it's all family, and majority of these places that you do have these things, they all claim to bring people together as family and all that. So it's family based. So now, if this is family, this is your external family or extended family, if you want to call it that. So now, remember, what at home is what you're going to take in these places. So do you have rules and policies in your home to prevent you from doing what's right or good? Majority of you will say no, because it don't seem like it's a place where you need the rules. And though you said you have rules also in your household when children are involved for them to have, but then this is the point where humans have been misled in thinking that rules are better than doing what's right, because rules are there, therefore you have to follow these rules. When you think of the word rule, what does that mean? Remember, by you knowing the meaning of these words help you as well in the way you deal with situations. So, what's right to do? Should you let what rules stop you from doing what's right? Should you let policies stop you from doing what's right? My personal favorite that I always use, does guideline stop you from doing what's right? So now, rules stop you from doing what's right. Policies stop you from doing what's right. But guidelines put you in the path to constantly doing what's right. Now, you're going to say, oh, well, guide is all similar to rules. No, it's not a rule. Check your dictionary. The word rule comes from what? Someone that have control over an individual or the masses. So the only way that individual or whoever is that person that wanna have control, gonna have the control is by placing rules, not laws, or rules in place. Why rules? Because these rules goes with only what they expect from you, not necessarily mean they are expected to follow the rules as well, but they expect these from you. So a ruler passes rules. A leader plays guideline. That's the difference. A ruler passes rules. A leader gives guidelines. Why guidelines? Alright. What's your understanding from guideline? A guideline is you go walk in the path. That's a guideline. Tendency is that path you can go off. Some path you can go off and you'll be fine, but not all path you can go off and be fine. Or let's say everyone knows about bridge, crossing across whether it's a river or it's usually over water. Okay, so why that bridge is also considered to be a guideline. Why? Because if you step out of it, what happened? So no one has to tell you, but the right thing to do is to walk through the bridge. Right? That is what a guideline does. A guideline lets you know what's right to do. But a rule doesn't. A rule is fixed that whether it's right or not, you have to go by it. So, now, does that help you understand how you can be able to do what's right from what's wrong? Because rules came from a ruler. That's why they are specifically called a ruler for that purpose, not a leader. A leader looks to get followers, so they set guidelines in what. But a leader looks to have control. A ruler looks to have control. A leader looks to have followers. That's the difference. Majority do not know that that's a difference between a ruler and a leader. A leader is not a ruler because they take the lead in doing things, so which means they do the right thing at all times. So what your politicians are, they are actually a ruler, not a leader. So that's what you have to understand, because they want to have control at all times. And when they loses that control, that's when they loses it themselves. So they've been trained not to lose control, but yet still you could tell that they can't, because they've been losing that control slowly, and it's driving them up the wall. So, as I mentioned, this was just a topic. It's tying. You might not think it's tying to ways to better living, but it does tie in the sense that to have a better living, you constantly have to be doing what's right. And in doing what's right, you constantly have to be knowing what's right to do. And what's right to do cannot be controlled or be bound by law, rules, or policies. So with this says, I will sign off here as my time is up and say God bless, and as you all know, have a wonderful time. This is your host Julio saying all the best.